Nobody expected Connor Zilisch's day to end before the first lap was even complete. Just 1 week after finally giving NASCAR fans hope with the best Cup finish of his young career, everything came crashing down again. Connor Zilisch became the latest victim of someone else's accident, leaving one of NASCAR's brightest young stars standing beside a destroyed race car before most fans had even settled into their seats. The worst part? This crash added another painful chapter to what has already become one of the toughest rookie seasons in the Cup Series. After climbing from the wrecked car, the disappointment in his voice said everything. He apologized to his team. He questioned why nothing seemed to go his way, and suddenly, fans were asking the same question. Is Connor Zilisch simply having terrible luck? Or is this rough stretch becoming a much bigger problem? So what actually happened at Chicagoland? How did Ryan Preece's spin suddenly collect Connor Zilisch? And why are so many people saying this rookie simply can't catch a break? We're breaking down exactly what happened, why Ryan Preece's crash left Connor with nowhere to go, and what this latest setback means for one of NASCAR's brightest young talents. So stay with us until the end. But before we get started, if you enjoy daily NASCAR coverage, make sure to subscribe to NASCAR Nation News and turn on notifications so you never miss the biggest stories from around the garage. Connor Zilisch arrived at Chicagoland needing exactly one thing: momentum. After months of crashes, mechanical problems, and disappointing finishes, Sonoma finally looked like the turning point. He brought the number 88 home inside the top 10, earning the first top 10 finish of his Cup career. After that race, Connor Zilisch said, "It felt good to have a clean run. We needed a day like this to go into next week with something to build on." For a rookie trying to establish himself, that clean finish mattered. Unfortunately, that confidence lasted less than one lap. As the field powered through turns 1 and 2 at Chicagoland, the middle of the pack suddenly tightened up. Hunter Nemechek moved toward Ricky Stenhouse Jr., and the racing room quickly disappeared. That contact triggered the first problem. Behind them, traffic immediately stacked up as drivers reacted to the slowing cars ahead. Ryan Preece suddenly found himself in the middle of the chaos. While trying to navigate through the congestion, contact between Erik Jones and Preece sent the number 60 Ford around. The moment Preece lost control, the entire situation changed. His car spun sideways across the racing surface, creating an obstacle that approaching drivers had almost no time to avoid. Connor Zilisch was one of those drivers. Now Connor Zilisch had an impossible decision. Go right and hit the spinning car. Go left and hope there was enough room. He chose the second option. Replay footage shows Zilisch steering left to avoid Ryan Preece, but the sudden move unloaded the car. His Chevrolet snapped sideways. Once it rotated, there was nothing left to save. The number 88 slid across the racing surface before slamming nose first into the inside safer barrier with heavy damage. The impact immediately ended his afternoon. Meanwhile, Ryan Preece's situation wasn't much better. His car came to rest on the apron with both front tires flat after sliding sideways through the incident. Unlike Zilisch, Preece's team managed to repair enough damage to continue, but the lengthy trip to pit road and the repairs left him 4 laps behind the leaders almost instantly. For Connor Zilisch, there would be no comeback. His race was over. The frustration came across the team radio almost immediately. "We're destroyed. I am sorry, guys, oh my. Can't get anything to go for me." Those few words probably summed up his entire rookie season. Because this wasn't an isolated incident. It was another painful addition to a growing list of setbacks. Chicagoland became Zilisch's 7th DNF of the season and his 5th retirement in the last 7 races. For someone considered one of the biggest young talents in American motorsports, those numbers are almost impossible to believe. That's what makes this season so frustrating. The speed has often been there. The results simply haven't followed. Sometimes it's aggressive racing, sometimes mechanical issues, sometimes being caught in someone else's mistake. And Chicagoland was another example of being in the wrong place at exactly the wrong time. Naturally, NASCAR fans had plenty to say after watching the replay. Many pointed out there was simply nowhere for Zilisch to go once Ryan Preece spun across his path. Others felt it perfectly summarized how unlucky his rookie campaign has become, with several fans describing him as one of the most unfortunate drivers in the field this season. Even so, not everyone inside the garage is hitting the panic button. Despite the difficult results, Trackhouse Racing continues to believe Zilisch is part of its long-term future. Reports indicate his current agreement runs through at least the 2027 season, showing that the organization still has confidence in his talent despite the rough start to his Cup career. And honestly, it's not difficult to understand why. This is the same driver who nearly captured the 2025 Xfinity Championship. The same driver who has already shown he can win races against elite competition. The learning curve in the Cup Series has simply been much steeper than anyone expected. Sometimes rookies struggle because they lack speed. Connor Zilisch's problem has often been the opposite. Every time it feels like momentum is finally building, something happens that completely changes the story. Unfortunately, Chicagoland became another example. While Connor Zilisch watched from the garage after only one lap, the race itself continued to deliver plenty of drama. Strategy constantly changed throughout the afternoon as cautions reshuffled the field, and teams searched for the right balance between track position and tire management. When it finally came down to the closing laps, Chase Briscoe and Joe Gibbs Racing had the strongest package. Chase Briscoe controlled the final restart, held off his teammates, and completed a dominant 1-2-3 finish for Joe Gibbs Racing in NASCAR's long-awaited return to Chicagoland. For Connor Zilisch, though, the final results hardly mattered. His day had already ended before it ever truly began. Sometimes the finishing order doesn't tell the whole story. Connor Zilisch leaves Chicagoland with another DNF. But the replay makes it clear just how quickly everything unfolded and how little time he had to avoid the incident. It adds another frustrating result to a rookie season that's been full of setbacks, even though the speed has been there more often than the finishing results suggest. Now the focus shifts to the next race, where Zilisch will once again try to put together the clean weekend that's been so difficult to find this year. But what do you think? Was this simply another case of terrible luck for Connor Zilisch, or could he have done anything differently to avoid the crash? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.